Well, today we're going to show you a little series of exercises for your thoracic spine area, which can start to stiffen. It's an area that we tend not to stretch a lot, but it's actually vital in a lot of our everyday activities that we do. So I'll do a quick rundown of the spine itself with my able assistant here. So Josh, nice and young, so he should have a nice flexible spine, and hopefully his posture is half decent. Posture plays a lot within the spine itself. So the spine itself is split into three sections. You've got your cervical or your upper section. You've got your thoracic section, which is the biggest portion, and that's the area we're looking at today. And then you've got your lumbar bit, which joins into the hips. Each section contains the vertebrae, which makes up the spine, but the vertebrae in each section are all shaped differently, and that's what gives it the varying degrees of twist and flexion and extension. So up in the neck we've got the biggest amount of rotation possible. Into the thoracic spine that's the midway line if you like, and into the lower, the lumbar area, we don't have a massive amount of rotation and flexion available. However, if the thoracic spine is tight and not quite doing what it should be doing, it can put excess pressure on the lower back and into the hips, and then even up into the shoulders and eventually into the neck as well. The main muscles within the thoracic area, deep sort of steadying muscles, they're called the spinalis and the erector spinae, and they work the whole way down, supporting the spine at either side. They're always working, so whether it's in a structural capacity or whether it's producing the movements that we would do every day. So structural being that we can use our appendages independently of each other, and movement wise it's the actual bending and the twisting. What else? Easiest way to tell whether we have a good flexibility and rotation within the spine, two really simple tests. So the easiest one is a side profile and looking at yourself in the mirror. So Josh, if you turn, this is Josh's posture. It's actually pretty good for somebody that gains a lot. Because we're obviously leading a bit more of a sedentary life nowadays, because we're all still cooped up due to the COVID, and we're working from home, our working patterns are different, kids are gaming a lot, it can lead into a hunched posture. So if you go into a hunched posture, Josh, it's a little bit extreme, but it's actually a really good demonstration of how we can end up. So you become a lot rounded in the shoulders, and the actual shoulders move forward a bit as well, meaning that you tend to lose the neck space too. This is the top of the thoracic area, meaning that it can then increase the pressure or the work being put onto the bottom of the thoracic area, and therefore you can then see the snowball effect down into the lumbar and into the hips as well. Okay, this, if you're looking at the mirror, it's quite a subjective view, so me seeing a good posture and you seeing a good posture will be two different things. So the test I prefer to see as a good check to see whether you're stuck in the middle at all or not is called thread the needle. So it's a yoga move, I believe, and we're going to use it as a test and then later on as an exercise as well. So the easiest way to do this is to go onto all fours. So for the test itself, you are making sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, so they're shoulder width apart, and they're right underneath the shoulders, and similarly with the knees, they're hip width apart, and the knees, where they touch the ground, is right underneath the hips as well. So I'm going to show you my right side test. So if I'm testing my right side, I'm sticking my left hand to the ground. So it's just a nice straight arm, and it's called thread the needle because this is the eye of the needle, and your arm is the thread, and you're going to push all the way through, out as far as you can go. And the check for this is to see whether the back of the shoulder or your temple is pointing down towards the ground. So if you are getting that nice point down towards the ground, then you're pretty good rotational wise this way. So the opposite of that is we unthread, keep your arms straight, and then point all the way up to the sky. And with this check, you're looking to see if your arm ends up perpendicular to the ground. If you fall a wee bit short of that, that's what you're looking for. That's your classic indicator that you need a bit more mobility in the mid-spine area. So I'll show you with the other hand. So our right hand, I'm going to test my left side. So the right hand is right underneath the shoulder. I'm going to take the left and thread it through. Push as far as you can go. That first check to see if the back of the shoulder and your temple are pointing towards the ground. And then we unthread, point all the way up towards the sky. And whilst you're doing these exercises, you're keeping your hips nice and stable, so your hips aren't helping you at all. And you're checking to see if it's perpendicular. Don't panic if you're falling a wee bit short. These next few exercises are going to help with that. Okay, so if we're wanting to get the spine moving a bit, I meant to say earlier that actually thoracic spine mobilization and flexibility is fantastic for the golf swing. So if you have that nice flex and twist, then you're going to create a nice and more stable golf swing every time. Anyhow, never mind that. We are going to go on to our first exercise. So it is going to be it's another yoga move. It's either called cat camel or cat cow. People call it two different things. But we're on all fours again, Josh. Perfect. So just the same as the test. Our hands are underneath our shoulders. Our knees are hip width apart and underneath our hips. You need to spread out a wee bit, Josh. Lovely. So think of this. If you've not done this before, it's quite a hard one to get into your head to begin with. Think of it as a whole movement throughout the whole spine. And I always imagine that I've got a string around the middle of my back. And we're going to go into the camel or the cow position. And the string's going to pull us up. So it's all the way from the neck. And you're creating that nice hump all the way down to the base of the spine, right at the bottom of the bum. Okay? With these, we're holding them for a couple of seconds. And then we're doing the opposite. So that string's all the way round. And then it's going to pull you all the way down. Lovely. And again, it's all the way from the neck right to the top of the bum area, and that gives you that nice curve the opposite direction. So that's our first move. We're going to do 10 reps of it, so 10 times with 2 moves in each, couple of seconds at each extreme. And this opens up the areas between the vertebrae, so it's getting the nice stretches between all the little vertebrae, all the muscles that are holding those vertebrae together as well. And the opposite, and similarly on the other side as well. So we're doing 10 of those, and then we're going into, it's back to our thread the needle, but it's a slightly different shape for whenever we're using it as an exercise. So we'll do this one together. For this one, again, you start off in your 4 hunkered position, so knees hip width apart, arms shoulder width apart. We're going to stretch our left side. So we're going to take our left foot, plant it out to the side in a nice plane, and the sole of your foot is going to touch the ground. So you're going to try and get the whole sole of your foot onto the ground. You're going to lean back ever so slightly, and then this time, it's the same as the test, you're going to thread the needle as far as you can. And this just allows you to go that wee bit further with the rotation. Holding it for a few seconds at one extreme, and then unthread, point to the sky, and this actually gives you a lovely little stretch deep down into your groin as well, into those adductor areas. Couple seconds, back through, couple seconds, and you're doing 10 reps on each side, up towards the sky. Lovely. And then similarly, I'll quickly show you the other side. You come back into your floor, and then you stick your leg out to the other side. Make sure you plant it so the sole of the foot is touching the ground. You're sticking, if your right leg's sticking out, then you're sticking your right hand to the ground, and you're going to thread your left. So it's thread all the way through. Couple seconds. Remember to breathe. Unthread and point up towards the sky. Don't panic if you feel it quite tight in the groin area. This is a really nice one for that psoas muscle. And it's the main muscle that joins the top half of the body to the lower half. Lovely. So a couple of seconds holding at each side. 10 reps. That's us. So that's us done our 2. And then finally, last one. I quite like this one. It's going onto your side. All the way onto the side. Doesn't matter which one you're doing first. I don't actually know what this one's called, but I call it the sunrise. So I'm lying on my right side, so my right arm is the whole way out. I'm going to take my left leg, which is sitting on top, and bring it up a little bit so it's bent, and straighten my right leg. I'm going to place my left hand on top of my right, and then all we're going to do is a semicircle like a sunrise with our left hand. So let's bring it up to brush your ear, and then all the way around so you complete the sunrise. So as much as you can, your hips are staying where they are, and the movements created from the shoulders. Naturally, when you're coming up to your ear, you'll want to rotate your palm of your hand so that it's facing towards the sky. A couple of seconds on each side. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. This is a lovely stretch for the pecs along the front of the chest as well, which quite often get tight in that rounded shoulder position. Primarily it's for the upper part of your thoracic spine area. It's a really nice one to do. So 10 times, and then you're swapping over and doing the other side as well. For people that have any knee issues, or if you do find that you are stuck in the office for a long time, we can get the T-spine moving that way as well. So we're going to go onto our chairs. So you're going to sit up straight so you're not slouched on your backs off the back of the chair. So you're sitting up straight, you're placing your hands just at the back of your head. So you're not pushing your head forward, you're just placing it as a stopgap. And then what you're aiming to do is to bring, we're going to do it with our left to begin with. So you're bringing the left tip of your elbow down towards the right armrest. So it's coming forward, maintaining a nice straight back and bending towards that opposite armrest. And then you do the other side, so you're coming right tip towards the left armrest. Maintaining a nice straight back, you don't want those hunched shoulders. And just holding it for a few seconds on each side, ideally about 5. So as you can see, I come forward to begin with, and then try and point towards the tip. Don't panic if you don't get towards that armrest, that's just your ideal end position. Don't keep that nice straight line along this way, and don't let the elbow do the work. Your elbow's just a point of reference. Think of it as the spine doing the work. Forward and down. Okay, so that's a really nice one to do if you're stuck at the desk as well. Another quick wee one if you are stuck at the desk is you can grab the bottom of the chair just for the neck area, because it tends to come forward a lot if you're concentrating a lot. So sitting up nice and straight, grab the bottom of the chair, and whichever side you're grabbing, you're going to bend your ear towards the opposite side. So your right ear to right shoulder, and then you're going to twist your head forward to look at your knee. Holding it for about 20 seconds if you can, and then slowly rotate out of that. And that's a nice way. If you get the top of the T-spine moving, this gets your neck moving. It can help improve the posture if you do find that you are stuck at your desk a lot. So I'll show you on the other side. So if you're doing your right side, you're grabbing the bottom of the chair at the right, you're bending your left ear towards your left shoulder, then you're rotating your head down to look at the tip of your left knee. Holding it, if you can, for about 20 seconds, and then slowly rotating out of it again. Okay, so I hope that's been a little bit helpful. T-spine plays a massive part in a lot of the movements, everyday movements that we do, and it's not one that we often stretch out. So there's a couple of little moves that you can add into your everyday exercises, and it can make quite a big difference. Let me know your thoughts. Pop onto the website as well. Send me any inquiries that way too. Okay, thanks.